Violence in the Virex Dominion was never chaotic. It was curated, measured, and monetized. Every death followed precedent. Every scream fit a pattern. The Apex Trial Arena existed to prove a single immutable truth. Predators ruled, and prey existed to be consumed. Archivist Carvale had recorded 8,000 executions from his observation spire. Species rose. Species fell. Numbers never lied. When the human woman was dragged onto the obsidian sand, the probability engines updated instantly. Survival likelihood, 0.003%. She stood just under 1.7 meters tall, wrapped in torn environmental fabric, her hands bound, her face bloodied but alert. No natural armor, no enhanced musculature, no adaptive carapace, merely soft skin and forward-facing eyes. The audience, 30,000 strong, representing 40 sovereign systems, roared in unified anticipation. The apex predators were already waiting. The Draxan pack emerged from their holding gates in synchronized precision. 6 of them, each over 2 meters tall. Digitigrade limbs coiled with muscle. Bone-reinforced hides. Reflex speeds that outpaced targeting algorithms. Their species had never lost a sanctioned hunt. Arena Master Corvith descended into the pit, his presence triggering chemical frenzy among the crowd. He circled the humans slowly, savoring the moment. By Dominion law, Corvith announced, you are granted a sporting mercy. A weapons pedestal rose from the sand. 1 blade, he continued, or 1 projectile weapon with 10 rounds. 60 seconds to flee. The crowd laughed. Mercy was theater. Mercy was cruelty in disguise. The human studied the pedestal. Her hands trembled, not from fear, Carvale noted, but from exhaustion. Still, her gaze remained steady. She chose both. A compact ballistic sidearm. 10 rounds. Chemical propulsion. Obsolete by galactic standards. She inspected it with methodical calm, checking the chamber, counting the rounds twice. Then she selected the knife. Short. Weighted. Balanced for close work. Corvith's mandibles flexed in amusement. Run well, he hissed. Die memorably. The restraints fell away. The countdown began. When the tone sounded, the human did not hesitate. She sprinted, not toward shelter, but toward the dense jungle quadrant, vanishing into foliage with an endurance burst that forced several predators to reassess. Carvale adjusted his recorder. For the first time in 17 seasons, the certainty graphs began to flicker. The Draxan pack split instantly, executing textbook encirclement. 3 took the canopy, claws biting into bark and stone. 3 moved low, tracking heat, sound, and pheromonal stress markers. They expected panic. They found absence. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. The human did not stumble. She did not cry out. She did not bleed where expected. Instead, the jungle answered with silence. At the 12-minute mark, 1 Draxan reported auditory anomalies, false movement, displaced foliage without thermal confirmation. At 17 minutes, the first fracture occurred. A Draxan fell from the canopy. The impact shook the arena sensors. He did not die. His shoulder plate had been shattered by a single projectile, fired from concealment at an upward angle no predator had predicted. Target demonstrates tactical awareness. The wounded hunter hissed through comms. She anticipates pack geometry. The crowd's roar softened, confusion rippling through the stands. The human moved constantly, never remaining in one zone long enough to be patterned. She used terrain like a weapon, ravines, water, vertical stone. When she struck, she vanished. At 24 minutes, she ambushed another hunter, driving him into a rock wall and pressing the knife to the seam beneath his jaw. She did not kill him. Tell the others, she whispered, her voice barely audible over the mic. I have 4 rounds left. She let him live. Fear, Carvale noted, spread faster than blood. The Draxan were predators, yes, but they had never been stalked. Minutes dragged. The pack grew erratic. Formation collapsed into desperate pursuit. At the water basin, she reappeared openly. 2 shots. Clean. Controlled. 2 hunters fell into the stream, incapacitated but alive. 2 rounds left, she called across the cliffs. Make them count. The remaining Draxan charged. She scaled a vertical wall that should have been unclimbable, leveraging friction and momentum with brutal efficiency. 1 predator lunged. She pivoted and kicked him into open air. Another followed, only to be redirected into stone. Now only the alpha and 1 veteran remained. They cornered her in a cavern high above the arena floor. Corvitha's voice trembled as he shouted for her surrender. The human laughed. Not hysterical. Not broken. Amused. You made one mistake, she called down. You assumed survival is about strength. Inside the cave, she raised the pistol. It's about refusing to lose. The cave smelled of stone, sweat, and old kills. The Alpha advanced slowly, claws flexed, eyes locked on the weapon. He knew the math. 2 rounds. 2 targets. He also knew something else now. The human was not afraid. She offered terms. Rush her and lose another hunter, or let her walk away alive. Corvitha's authority shattered in that moment. The arena had never seen a prey species dictate outcome. After agonizing seconds, the Alpha stepped back. The human lowered the pistol. She walked out of the cavern unchallenged, descended the path alone, and crossed the arena floor as 30,000 spectators sat in stunned silence. I want my ship returned, she said calmly to the observation spire, and safe passage to neutral space. The Dominion complied. Carvale filed the record that night with unsteady hands. 3 months later, the epilogue arrived. The human contacted him directly. Lieutenant Eris Hale, Earth Defense Fleet. The arena hunt had not been sport. It had been contracted. A test. Someone wanted to see how humans performed under impossible odds. Together, they uncovered a lie older than recorded history. A hidden armada, constructed behind Forbidden Zone myths, financed by Council elites. When mercenaries came to silence them, Eris did not flinch. She simply presented leverage. They backed down. The evidence went public. Trials followed. Fleets were seized. Empires fractured. The galaxy learned a lesson far more dangerous than violence. On the final day, Carvale asked her why she hadn't killed them when she could have. Eris smiled. Because fear lasts longer than death. As the stars shifted beyond the viewport, Carvale updated the archives. Humans were not prey. They were survivors who turned certainty into a weapon and refused to use it quietly. In the cycles that followed, the Apex Trial Arena was dismantled. Its sponsors disavowed it. Its records were sealed except one. The human hunt. New regulations spread across the Dominion, limiting engagements with Terran vessels. Betting markets collapsed overnight. Predator cultures rewrote their threat models. Humans did not dominate through numbers or claws or energy weapons. They dominated through defiance. Carvale resigned his post and became something unprecedented, a historian of survival. His final entry carried no statistics, no probabilities. Only a warning. Never corner a human. Never grant them time. Never mistake restraint for weakness. Because if you leave them with 10 rounds and a knife, you are not testing prey. You are giving birth to consequences.